So basically, you're saying is like you deal with people like Arnav, and they bother the. Hello, folks. Welcome back to our podcast episode number whatever Arnav
One.
decides it to be.
This is episode 1 for
Alright,
this one.
it's one. So if you guys don't know, I'm Mo. We have Arnav, and unlike every other podcast, we have a third round person, Sadiq,
Yes.
who is from our university. But since we have an honorary guest today, I would like you to introduce yourself, Sadiq, a bit more of who you are, where you come from, and why you know people like us.
Yeah, so currently right now I work at the University of Toronto. So I work as a frontline student academic advisor in the registrar's office for the School of Graduate Studies. So I deal with graduate students, so master's and PhD students. So basically I deal mostly with current students, but also like newly admitted or incoming students. So with the registrar's office, it's kind of a wide variety of things that we assist incoming and current students with. So anything from updating student records, helping them get registered in their program for the academic year. Also, if you have like academic concerns as well, we can also help them out with that as well too. For example, if they might be having some conflict with either their department or supervisor, we have resources to help for that. Also, financial aid and advising. So if students have questions about student loans or how to apply for awards or bursaries, we can help with that. And then also with graduation requirements, so our office is responsible for that as well too. So if students have questions about how to apply for graduation, we help with that too. And then probably the most common thing we help with is doing registration letters for students, and also helping students get degree completion letters so they can apply for they can use it for anything, but we get a lot of requests from international students so they can use it to apply for the postgraduate work permit.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that our office, that the student academic services team that I'm a part of, what we do is we try to help students interpret UofT and School of Graduate Studies kind of policies. So, for example, if like a student wants to drop a course, what would be the consequences of doing that? Or if they have questions about maybe wanting to take a leave of absence or transfer a program, transfer from one program to another program, we would help with that. So, yeah, it's like a little bit of everything, basically, that the Student Academic Services team, which is the team that I'm a part of, that we help students with.
So basically, you're saying is like you deal with people like Arnav, and they bother the crap out of you. Well, getting back, so Sadiq, as obviously we would love to know more about you, but before we do that, I would remind our users or viewers, sorry, not users, very definitely. But I would love to remind our viewers that like we are Arnav and Mo. You have all of our social channels anywhere. I'm gonna point again, like every other video, wherever Arnav decides to put it. We have our socials, which are also all of our social handles are Arnav and Mo. And the biggest part is if you see us, like, comment, subscribe, and if we reach 100 subscribers, we can stop seeing Arnav's face. We have explicitly said that we're gonna put a paper bag on his face so they'll continue with the podcast. And it potentially has the chance of getting better. Anywho, just reminding our users. Also, to this point, I do want to get back, but we're going to divide this interview/podcast up into multiple series. This series will more so be focusing on getting to know Sadiq, his background, and some of the financial challenges that knowing what domestic and international students might face at the moment, especially as they're getting to university, and how, Sadiq, you can obviously help these people, or like you can help them navigate around some of these challenges.
Yeah.
One thing before we get started, Sadiq, very important question.
Yes.
Where do you sit at the University of Toronto, and where can people like Arnav find you very easily? Just as like a point of like reference.
So If you go to the registrar's office at the School of Graduate Studies, if you literally enter in, like, I'm most likely going to be the first person you see, because like our student academic services team are like right on the first floor. So if you come in, you're most likely going to see me or one of my team members
What
there.
building
So
is it part of, Sadiq?
it's 63 St. George Street.
I
So
see.
that's the building. So it's kind of
Yeah.
across from Lash Miller, like near Sid Smith. But like,
You
yeah,
know why I'm shaking my head? I see the light in Arnav's eyes as soon as he said it's that building he graduated, but he's still gonna haunt you. Like, he's not even hunting, he's gonna haunt you. Like, he's gonna go to the building, call you in from like, Sadiq, I'm outside. Sadiq, say less. Anyway. Sorry. So moving on to the second question, it's like, what are the different sort of, I think you kind of touched upon this and like you went overview of like what you do and like where you work.
Yeah.
So specifically, I'm going to jump in. It's like, what are the different academic support that you offer, that the university offers to the
Yeah.
student, and where you kind of fit in, and like, how do you help students find those?
So I would say there's kind of like three levels to that. So the first would be at the course level. So let's say you're taking a course and you're struggling with that course. You can go to the professor or the TA to see what kind of services they offer, or academic support services they offer for that specific course. So it could be like the TA might organize like an extra tutorial session, or the professor might have like office drop-in hours.
Mhm.
But pulling back a little bit, whether you're a graduate student or an undergraduate student, there's a good chance that your department is going to have a student or academic advisor specifically for your program. So if you are, need some academic support, you could go and talk to them. And it can be about anything. It could be about like, I'm struggling in this course, or, if I take this elective or this course, am I going to be on track to fulfill my degree requirements?
Yeah.
So that's one thing you can definitely do. And then further than that, UofT as a whole, they do have, there's, in the student life, then UofT student life, there's an academic success department there. So there's two services that they provide for students that would be pretty helpful. So the first one is an academic success peer mentor. So what they do, sorry, I'm just reading from the website, so because there's very specific stuff from what they do. So, so the academic success peer mentor, what they do is they help out with students reading and note taking for tests, exams, and assignments, finding motivation and overcoming procrastination when working remotely, making schedules to manage multiple aspects of your life and academic expectations. And this one's a really important one, but knowing and accessing the university's services and supports. And then the second resource they have is a learning strategist. So the learning strategist will help students develop strategies for active studying and exam preparation, to manage time and stress, and to help you with your project management and presentation skills. Now, the one thing about these two services, even though they're offered by Student Life at the University of Toronto, there are academic success peer mentors and learning strategists for specific faculties that are kind of catered towards, for example, the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering, or OISE, or Arts and Science. So there are some that are specific for faculty. And then I think one other resource, this would be more so specifically for undergraduate students. But I know for first year, a lot of the time the registrar's offices will offer academic support for specific courses. It can be drop-in sessions like, exam jams before, exams take place, like different studying sessions. And then sometimes they even have, like drop-in sessions for like academic help that are run by upper year students as well too. So those would be like the main sort of kind of academic support, that you can find at the University of Toronto. Now, at the School of Graduate Studies, it's slightly different because all the programs are administered at the departmental level. So in that sense, if a student came to us and had kind of issues specifically with their program, we would advise them to, either talk to their program's registrar's office, because some of the bigger ones will have that, or to talk to their program's graduate administrator or academic advisor. So I would say those would be like the resources in terms of academic supports that could help students out.
Here, Oh, absolutely makes sense. And I think the reason why we want to like touch upon this is like a lot of students are in high school right now, and I'm not sure for a lot of international students because I haven't had that experience, and I don't know who can speak on that behalf. But like domestic students, when we graduate from high school, we don't know about a lot of these resources.
Yeah.
And high schools, studying in high school in Canada, it's like I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone. Obviously, everyone has different skill levels and whatnot, but like to me, it felt like the teachers were spoon feeding us. So what that meant was like, yeah, like someone would come to you and be like, hey, do your homework, do your homework. If you don't do your homework, go silence the class. It's like there's like a feedback mechanism for you to do better in high school. In university, there's none of that. Like I don't think anyone is like running behind you. So I think this is super helpful. The fact that you focus on that, especially knowing that like a lot of students are starting university in like less than a week and a half or 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah, it's starting. And the one other resource specifically for international students, whether you're in undergrad or grad school, the Center for International Experience is pretty good as well too. So they have a set of resources specifically for international students. If you need and they also have like immigration advisors as well too. So if you got questions about that, you can help with that. And I know in September and January, so the start of the semesters, specifically for international students, I know they have like a lot of social events as well too, so you can meet other students on campus, whether they're domestic or international students, but just kind of a way to, it's like a meet and greet basically. So that would be another good resource as well too.
Makes sense. For this part, sorry, Arnav, were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, like it was very similar story for me. I think like for me, like when I joined university, I mean I haven't done masters, and just to be clear, Sadiq, you're definitely a graduate and masters academic advisor, but for us as bachelors too, like there was one mentor that was assigned to us. I don't know if the same thing happens in graduates.
It depends on the program, but I know there are some programs that do have that though.
Yeah.
That have a similar kind of system.
It was really cool, but because like they introduced me to another international student who was in a completely different program, and we're still in touch. So three of us, we still hung out till the end of university. I think it really gives you an opportunity to meet someone who's in the same boat as you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So basically, what you're saying is like, other than like the engineering kids, you also bother other people too. What you're upsetting. So if you're watching that, I'm so sorry, whoever you are. Apologies, like from anyone. So the final question on this segment of the video, Sadiq, I would like to focus is like, what do you have to do? And you don't have to touch upon like every single detail, just from like a high level view of like what you think are the steps. But like, if I am at another institution, let's say like a college or another university, and I get this question a lot of the time. A lot of folks, like international kids, like they start at colleges or like a lot of like domestic kids, they start at colleges and they want to move. They're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can study at a university. I don't know if I can transfer my credits and whatnot. So like, I know that you can, and a lot of like university folks say that you can, but how can we say this to like, how can we spread that information, or what do you think the process is to do that, basically transfer the credits so that people are aware of this?
Yeah, so for transferring credits, basically it would be done through the registrar's office of whatever a faculty or your program falls under. But what you would now, depending on the faculty, there might be a fee to actually apply for the transfer credit, regardless of whether you get it or not. But usually what they're going to ask for is they're going to ask for your transcripts so they can see the grade you got for that course. And they're most likely going to ask you for the course outline. So not the course description, but the course outline. So which will have the course description, but it will also say, okay, here was the grade breakdown, in terms of, assignments and tests and what the learning objectives are. And usually what they'll do, the registrar's office will do, is they'll compare that to the course that you want to get the transfer credit for to kind of see if it's similar. And then the other thing, which I believe would vary from faculty to faculty, they might have like a minimum grade requirement. So if you're gonna, so if you got like a D- in a course and you want to use that as a transfer credit, probably not gonna get it. But they do look for like, I think it's probably probably like a C or higher in that course. But like I said, every faculty is different, so just something to kind of like keep in mind. But that would essentially be the process. So it's your transcript to show your grade, and then the course outline and description, basically.
Makes sense. And I do want to emphasize this to our viewers who are watching this, that like, if that's something that bothers you, or if that's something that upsets you, or like the stress gets to you, because like I have talked to people, and like a lot of the time they're like, hey, I don't know what to do because I'm at a college, I would love to like transfer to a university. And again, there's nothing wrong with like any of these choices, like, but if you are planning on transferring, I think it's a great opportunity, and think something that's provided by the university and like obviously faculties and services that you should definitely take use of, because it is doable. It is very doable, and I think don't let that stress get to you. Worst case is like you don't do it and like you stay at your path. But
sorry to cut you off more really quickly. Like Sadiq, in your opinion, what percentage of people can get their credits transferred? Like, do people generally get it successfully credit transferred, or do they even fail?
So from what I've seen, at least in my work, there you do see a decent number of people who most likely have gone to college or university and then transferred to U of T, and they've been able to successfully, apply for transfer credits. The only one other thing to consider is, obviously it depends on what age you're going to be going into U of T, but like there might also be a time limit. So, for example, if you took a course like 10 years ago. They might not accept that just simply because it's been a long time ago. But generally, I would say to students, like, just look to see, if there's a cost associated with it. Because you get to pay, for example, $30 for each application, like, and you want to transfer like 10 courses or something, it could add up to a lot of money. And I think the other thing, if I'm not mistaken, is I think for undergrad programs, you can only transfer credits to a maximum of like 50% of your program requirements, so you can't do anything more than that.
I see. Makes sense.
Honestly, not a bad choice. Like $30 for one course, that's basically like just don't drink chemistry for like maybe like half a month, and you're fine.
Yeah,
that's my metric. Like I know how there's the McDonald's metric. My metric is Tim's.
I think we can end the episode like
like I think let's call it quits here and then call it quits. I'm kidding. So thanks for everyone who joined us, and thank you, Sadiq. Obviously, we're going to have you for the next segment, which would be on financial challenges, and obviously we have other segments such as academic and changes and challenges that are coming through. So keep an eye out. All right. Peace, folks.
Bye.
Yeah.